iCare for giving me this opportunity to present a very important topic. Yeah, the different important aspects of wide field and ultra-wide field imaging. Why ultra-wide field imaging? Why imaging? And what is the definition of wide field and ultra-wide field imaging? And this was the question that a group of experts actually wanted to answer quite recently, and I have the privilege to be part of this group. And we got a consensus. The consensus was roughly as represented in this picture. The images that we can get from the arcades up to the vorticus vein could be defined as wide field imaging. If we go beyond vorticus vein, then we have the ultra-wide field imaging. So now we have a definition for ultra-wide field imaging. But why it's so important to have wide field and ultra-wide field imaging along with this definition? Well, because since the advent of technology that allowed us to look at the periphery, we realized that we have a number of important information from the periphery that are really changing the way we can manage patients with different diseases. So we have diseases that are starting from the periphery, and then if we just look at the say posterior pole or just within the arcades, we can miss the information from the periphery that help us to manage the central disease. But also we can have diseases starting from the periphery or from the center, but in which the two are strictly correlated. And if we just look at the periphery, like in this case, we probably miss important information. By looking at this case, it seems that it's quite good, quite normal. But if we extend to the wide field and ultra-wide field view of fundus picture, then we can get much more information and we can better classify these patients like this. There are a number of diseases in which it's important to look at the periphery. Among these, for sure, retinal vein occlusion and uveitis, because in uveitis we make a classification based on what we see in the periphery. And diabetic retinopathy. Diabetic retinopathy, now we know that if we look at the periphery of patients with diabetic retinopathy, we can get up to 10-fold more disease. So you can imagine how important it is to look at the periphery to better manage patients with diabetic retinopathy. Well, it's important to look at the periphery, but it's also important to look at the details at the periphery along with the details at the posterior pole, at the center. This is another important aspect of wide field and ultra-wide field images, so the quality of imaging. And quality means sharpness and richness in colors. The iCare EIDON is a unique machine that is combining these two important features. So with the iCare we have important information, of course, on the wide field and ultra-wide field view of the retina, but also an ultra-high image quality, both in terms of colors and in terms of details of sharpness. This is the way we can get images with the EIDON, the iCare EIDON. If we use the standard lens, we can get in just one shot 90 degrees of field of view. But if we use the ultra-wide field module, in just one shot we can get up to 120 degrees of field of view. And with the mosaic of ultra-wide field module, we can get up to 200 degrees of view, so the ultra-wide field imaging. So we said two unique characteristics of the iCare EIDON are based on two features in the machine, that is the TrueColor features. The TrueColor features means that we have images that are very close to what we can imagine by looking at the fundus of a patient. And this is based on white LED light that is guaranteeing this beautiful color visualization. On the other hand, we have the other important feature that is the confocality, and with confocality we can have sharpness, we can have the details that are right there in that specific position. I'll show you this example to show you the importance of combining these two characteristics. So we have colors that are very close to what we can imagine by looking at the fundus of a patient, with a very high resolution in cases like this of exudative AMD. And this is not only at the posterior pole, but also at the periphery. So you can see that this beautiful visualization in colors and the details, the sharpness of the detail are the same from the center to the periphery. Another important feature of confocality is that we can bypass what is masking, and this is an example of asteroid hyalosis. So you can see that with a standard fundus camera, we cannot see the retina, but if we use the characteristic of EIDON and the confocality, we can get an high quality image. Chromaticity means this beautiful visualization of colors that we have with the EIDON machine. And in this study, the authors compared standard fundus camera with the EIDON, and you can see that not only we have many more colors, so this high chromaticity, but these colors were well balanced, were very close to the center, as compared to a standard fundus machine. So starting from this, we wanted to make a study with my group, and we went to look at the chromaticity in the same patients with different machines by adopting the three machines available in the market, and we were just looking at chromaticity in terms of richness of color and the way they were balanced. So the three machines that we were comparing were, of course, the EIDON machine and the Clarus Zeiss machine and the Optos machine. Here are the results in terms of chromaticity. So you can see that also in this case, as for a standard fundus camera, we have many more colors with the EIDON, and these were significantly more than the Clarus Zeiss and then the Optos machine. Not only so richness of colors, but also the way they were balanced. So you can see that the one with the more balanced color close to the center was the EIDON, followed by the Clarus, and then followed by the Optos. In this sense, we have a more comprehensive balance in chromaticity with the EIDON versus the other two machines, in terms of quantity of colors that we can get and the way they were close to the center. But we will see in this slide face-to-face what we mean for more balanced richness in colors for chromaticity with the three machine face-to-face. So you can see the way we can get this information from the center to the periphery with the iCare EIDON, with the Zeiss Clarus and the Optos Silverstone. So no doubt that beautiful information that we can get from the EIDON machine, so richness in color, but also sharpness is superior to the other machines. The EIDON machine gives us a chromaticity that may definitely impact the way we can manage our patients, and this was demonstrated by this face-to-face comparison in our study with the other two machines in the market. It's important to have the visualization of the periphery in order to better manage our patients with different retinal diseases, but at the same time it's important to have the information that are reliable, that could be well interpreted, properly interpreted, and in that sense chromaticity is extremely important, and iCare EIDON demonstrated superior performance in chromaticity. Thank you very much. EIDON confocal TrueColor technology is a unique feature of the device in the sense that it combines the TrueColor technology that is based on a white LED light that is giving images that are very close to reality, and confocality gives sharpness, so images are really high quality.
EIDON chromaticity was in the literature investigated versus a standard fundus camera and demonstrated that chromaticity with EIDON is much more balanced and rich in color than my group and I made a different study. So we investigated 3 ultra-widefield devices in the market, and as a result, EIDON machine demonstrated the highest chromaticity in terms of balance of colors and richness in colors. The additional takeaway is that we need ultra-widefield imaging in order to better manage our patients. And if we see the periphery, we can also improve the way we are managing the center of the retina when there's a disease. At the same time, we need the details, we need sharpness, we need richness in colors, and it's not just a matter of widening the field, but also these details should be of high quality. And in this sense, the EIDON machine is able to give all-in-one of these characteristics.